today. From TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this shot downfield on second down is brought in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Josh Allen racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On second down now. It's Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Prescott to throw it. Oh, Prescott stripped. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
Just 4 weeks left in the regular season, and he has to be firmly in the driver's seat for the MVP award.
Yeah, as the month of December wears on, we'll see how this all shakes out, and the debate will certainly heat up. But he's done everything they've asked of him.
Wouldn't you love to be in his head right now, though? See what he's thinking, how much this is affecting him. Is he thinking about it at all? Are his teammates talking to him about it? He's dealing with a little bit of pressure, though, even though he's right now the #1 guy. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. When they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Neville Gallimore make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet. Saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A 3-yard victory.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 14 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight. So the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they all...
Touchdown, Jaguars! A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Lambo to kick off for Jacksonville.
And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Tackled at the 40-yard line.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 23 carries, 125 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Taken down at the 40.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Prescott from the gun on third. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Jaguars.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Moore. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Oh, Prescott stripped, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Possession.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. 21-0 our score after 1.
21. Cowboys, nothing.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott over the middle, and it's incomplete. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Third down. And ten yards to go.
The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete.
DJ Moore.
He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
7.
Now back to throw. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Rolling to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the Cowboys' 8-yard line.
Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. The loss results there.
Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy 1st. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Cowboys.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Come on, man.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
For the field goal, a 47-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
21-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there, and that'll bring up second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Again, he targets Moore. This one is complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes...
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
A loss of 5. It's 4th down.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will do it for this first half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Rodrigo.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambeau on for the extra point.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second and 12, Prescott looking deep in the direction. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
And 7 at the 41-yard line.
10th carry now for Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chunking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
At the 28-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Back to throw here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 26. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Eluding the pressure right. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Flush to his right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Gerald Everett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are pouring it on.
I thought that was a nice job there, feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
6-man. Check girls, check girls.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott on the crossing route, complete. It's Schultz. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Back now in Jacksonville, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
The ball carrier.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're heading towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their off.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 27 yards there, a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
For the running back.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars continue to roll. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
For Jacksonville.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because...
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Prescott yet again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
3rd down.
To the air again, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards the pick up there, and also a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
23 yards the pickup there.
23 yards. And a Cowboy first down.
Check right, check right. And on the back.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jags, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.